Hello and welcome back, and today for something a little bit special and different, and especially close to my heart. So you know I'm super passionate about swords and military history as well, of course, but the other thing I'm passionate about is writing. Now, I've been a full-time novelist for well over 10 years now, and it's been a hell of a ride. It's been quite good fun. It's something I've always loved to do, and I'm glad to be able to do it, and people seem to enjoy it. And therefore, I have finally made the crossover between my different hobbies. So I've finally written a novel that uses my knowledge of military history and, of course, my knowledge of swords and swordsmanship. And that is in a new novel releasing at the end of August, on the 28th of August, which is going to be a swashbuckling Napoleonic military fiction. Now, to give you a bit of a history to the things I've been doing, I actually got my start writing this. The Zombie Survival Guide in 2009. So Mike and I, who runs the AHF with me, we wrote this together. It's a tongue-in-cheek, fun guide on how to survive the zombie apocalypse. And it was a big hit, and that's how we launched ourselves as authors, and we now both are full-time authors. So yeah, that's been an interesting one. We did a bit of zombie fiction as well, but yeah, this is the thing that really launched us. And anyway, soon after, we moved on to writing our own standalone science fiction mostly. We did a few other things, but that's what both of us have been doing most of the last decade. And for me, that meant this series, the Battle Earth series. And the original Battle Earth series is 12 books. This is the first one ever. So always a fun one to go back to. And then I wrote a 9-book spin-off, and then that wasn't a spin-off, that was a sequel. And then I did spin-offs, and so the Battle Earth world is now something like 28 novels. It's a bit monstrous, and people seem to really enjoy that, and that's awesome. And because of my love of swords and swordsmanship and close combat generally, hand-to-hand combat, I always write in a lot of hand-to-hand combat into my science fiction. In that regard, it's a little bit, Warhammer 40,000 or 40k, throwing in sort of swords and spear type weapons in a sci-fi setting, because why not? It's incredibly fun. But I've now done a crossover into historical fiction in the kind of vein of Bernard Cornwell's Sharp series. There's always a risk of, people say you copied it. Well, I haven't set out to copy Bernard Cornwell, of course, but I also love Bernard Cornwell's work, and I love the Sharp series and the Sharp character. So we're influenced by everything that we read, see, do, and experience. So I'm going to be tainted, if you like, for better or worse, by Sharp. But never mind, I'm not too worried about that. So the important thing is that we have some fun. And that is my focus here, is that my new book, Craven's War, it'll be the first in a long-running series, I intend it to be, like my Battle Earth series, is to tell the story of a fictional character, a fun fictional character which I've established in an entirely accurate world, essentially. So the large events of my Craven's War series are going to be accurate, and the large characters are going to be accurate as much as they possibly can according to historical research. And that means that if you read Craven's War, you're actually going to be learning about the period, in this case, the Peninsular War in the Napoleonic Wars. You're going to be learning the history as you go along. You're going to be learning about weapons, about tactics, about the actual events that were going on. But at the same time, my character is a fun-loving rogue. So Craven, James Craven, is a prize fighter from England who was brought in to teach a volunteer rifle unit how to use swords. And they actually disbanded in 1808 because the threat from Napoleon was significantly decreased, largely because the French Navy got an absolute thrashing at the hands of Nelson, and therefore the threat of invasion wasn't so much anymore. Volunteers tended to start disbanding. And anyway, Craven now is out of work and rather in need of money and wine, the things he loves most in life, and gets a job teaching the same thing, swordsmanship, over in Portugal. The book will start in 1809 as Sir Arthur Wellesley is just arriving in Portugal to take up the rather desperate struggle in Portugal and Spain, as the sort of British troops and Portuguese troops that are with them are just hanging on a thread in Portugal. So that's the start of the story. And yeah, it's going to be a swashbuckling, fun story. I want it to be Of course, historical to a certain degree. It's going to feature, as I said, a lot of historical events, and you're hopefully going to learn along the way. In fact, I've learned along the way, because you really go into depth day by day about what's going on in the campaigns. But at the same time, my character and his group of set of characters are designed to be, it's a fun adventure story set within the Peninsular campaign at this stage. So yeah, Craven's War comes out on the 28th of August. I think it's a fun ride, and I hope you do too. You can get it on Amazon on Kindle. The paperback will be releasing on the same date, although it's not available to pre-order yet. But you can pre-order the Kindle. You can get it on Amazon.com for $2.99, and in the UK, £2.49. And obviously the paperback's going to be a little bit more expensive. The audiobook will also be coming not long after it as well. So you're going to have a whole range of options on the different formats that you read this on. But yeah, I hope you do go along and read it. And if you do read it, please also, let me know what you think. Especially just put a review on Amazon and let me know what you think. I'd love to know what you all think of it. Because for me, it's crossing over so many of the things I am really passionate about. And I hope that comes across. I've certainly put the work in, massively so, into character development, into research, and into just the fun of it. Because, as I said, it's a war story, but it's supposed to be a fun action-adventure within that war story. So, yeah, I'm passionate about it. I think it's fun. I think it's a good story, but I'm also biased because I wrote it. But, you know me from the things I do. I love swords and swordsmanship of that period, so I'm really going to be delving into that pool of knowledge. And yeah, there you go. So it comes out in 4 weeks' time. It's available to pre-order now, and you can, of course, expect to see spadroons because I love spadroons, I love sabers. You're going to see a lot or read a lot about these in Craven's War. So yeah, thanks for watching. Please do subscribe if you haven't already, and go to Amazon and pre-order Craven's War. Thanks for watching.